step into the right direction, that they play their own game.
And many more steps. Time for Complexity versus Permitta. Here are our casters.
Well then, it is quite the uphill struggle that we have here for Permitta, but I think it's fair to say that you don't play as good as you do when you've got nothing to lose. So let's see what they can bring into this one. They'll lose their first player, trying to make their way into the vents, looking to get a fast plant on the B bomb site. Only losing one isn't too shabby, but they might lose more as Floppy's having a look. He'll be down to 1 HP though. Painful start for him. SNX coming in from the back, and maybe there's a chance for them to convert this one. 2 versus 4. There's more work for Permitta to do here though. Now it's down to Lena. He'll soon be surrounded, but before that even happens, JT will finish him off. A confident start then for Complexity after all.
Yeah, Permitta using their strength in numbers decently to get down to the B site, but some of those shots from Complexity were pretty solid. And that is the first step for Permitta, is proving on an individual level they can step up and match Complexity. Because in a lot of these games, the desk was kind of pointing out, you almost have to earn respect and make Complexity have to think about something first. When you're a team that's kind of unknown coming into this sort of tournament, it is a big opportunity for Permitta. The Polish team here at the play-in, we'll see what they can do because they have got that bomb down. So a second round force buy at the ready.
Quick grenades in towards the A bomb site. CTs are still in position though. And in go Permitta. JT, have a look by Squeaky. How can he help his teammates here? Somewhat blind. He's got some reasonable range though with the FaMAS looking for 2. He needs some help and fast. The CTs are coming in. There'll be 2 losses. No bomb plant. 2 for 2 go Complexity. A nice fast start from them. Not in a place they were hoping to be at the beginning of yesterday. But you don't always get what you want. Fighting for survival. Complexity and Permitta esports. Everybody focused at the beginning of the match.
Yeah, these fast A plays, normally when you get that first kill as T's, you're actually in a pretty good position to try and trade. But for Permitta, that just didn't happen. It was just solid sprays from the Complexity players. So, bit of a shame there, but pretty standard round. In that second round force, you go for a fast A play. Can be very effective if the CTs aren't prepared for it. Now, unfortunately, not a great deal to work with here for Permitta.
That is quite the angle from hallzerk. Support flashbangs, always important for your teammates. Oh, Floppy's in trouble now, has to fall back. hallzerk with some pre-fire, but he'll be traded by Lena with the Desert Eagle. Floppy now, how far back does he go? Multiple assailants coming his way. Not sure how far away. Backup is low on bullets and low on health. Now Lena with another Desert Eagle shot. How far can they go on this one? 2 versus 3. Smoking off the door. JT waiting by Decon. More players make their way through. HE mostly avoided. Bomb planted. So lots of things have been achieved here by Permitta. Now how much more damage can they do? Complexity will need to work together with at least 2 players. Try and trade frag, keep the numbers to their advantage. Door open. There's the first one. SNX's turn with the Desert Eagle now. 1v2. Oh, hold on a second. Wasn't expecting that from Grim. So an expensive round for Complexity, but they will prevail.
Yeah, we're seeing Permitta get caught off guard in quite a few of these scenarios early. Just not always ready for these angles. Maybe sometimes having a wrong prediction as to the positions. But the overall team play and strategies are looking pretty solid here for Permitta early on their map pick. At least making the rounds competitive. Of course, we are in the lower bracket here. Permitta did not have much success in their opening game against Furia. They lost 16-4 in that one. So it would be really nice to see them put up a better fight here, especially as they get their map pick in a BO3. They should be very comfortable on Nuke. We're getting SNX aggressive early. There's a player behind red. He hasn't cleared it, but the flash is fantastic. Split into this A site looks good. They're going to get that side control.
Beautiful. Floppy's got much work to do now, and he will do exactly that. Traded eventually, but he's given his team the advantage. 3-2 of Permitta, who still needs to plant the bomb. Plenty of time for that. Planted, as I say it. You can see hallzerk moving to the heaven position now. FaNg trying to help his teammate, getting caught with a grenade in his hand, though. It'll be cleaned up by FaNg, traded. And now Casey's in a 1 versus 1 versus hallzerk, and the round will be clutched. That wasn't an easy job by Permitta. Showing signs of life early as they find their first round.
Yeah, that looked scary when Floppy got that 2K, because it almost seemed like Permitta had the site in their control. There was only one real position they had to be scared about, because they knew they forced that player down the vents, so they only had to be concerned about Heaven. Still, Floppy overperformed. Then Casey came back with that really impressive 3K. And it's nice to see some of the individuals showing up there for Permitta. The strategy has looked good. They've been aggressive. They've been confident. And now the individuals start showing up too. So hopefully that's a sign of things to come.
Great to see how happy they are. With the damage they did earlier, they've broken complexity early as well. And it's great that they're jovial, but they have to stay focused. Part of them may feel like, you know, we have no right to win this match. Doesn't mean you can't. Not much to be done here for complexity. There is a flashbang. There we go. And here comes the stream of players, but they'll be going into the meat grinder there. Fingers first. That will be extremely painful. JT and Floppy remain. Oh, they've got at least one kill from this, but I don't see them rescuing any of these rifles based on their position. So now the question is, will Permitta have any momentum on their T side? How many rounds will they be looking for, as it's all on the table for now?
Yeah, I think we'll see if Permitta continue with the pace. That's what I'm interested in, because it has been quite a few fast rounds early. And that initial gun round was quite nice in that they got that player to wrap around main so quickly. But I think part of the reason that was successful is because Complexity had a CT pushed up to red container. So they weren't really expecting that sort of flank through yards so quickly. So if Complexity play a more standard setup, I wouldn't expect Permitta to be able to slip through the cracks quite that easily. There is another fast play, though, this time through Squeaky and Huck.
Yeah, these flashbangs are giving them opportunity, but that will be lost on this occasion. Grim with 2. SNX trying to find a transfer, almost, but not quite. Lena's turning the clutch now. With that HE grenade, they will know exactly where he is. That'll give more confidence to the remaining CTs. I think he may be biding his time here for a while as they take really brutal angles on the A-bomb site. As you can see, the bomb is in the middle of the site, so they won't be too concerned. And another smoke. Playing the waiting game is Lena. Looking at the money for the T side, they're going to be in a rough spot if they lose this round. Same is true for Complexity, but Permitta have a lot more to do. And have a look at that. Carcasses everywhere. Looks like an abattoir on the A-bomb site.
Not looking good for Permitta in this one. Grim is definitely a player to watch for on the Complexity side. He's really found his level, found his form since leaving Liquid and being put into some more star roles on this Complexity lineup. He really has been excellent as of late. Definitely the main man to watch for Complexity. Fortunately for Lena, no way to isolate those fights. As soon as he gets spotted, he gets ganged up on from a couple of different angles. And again, Permitta's still going for a lot of these explosive rounds early. I'm wondering if that's just a game plan to try and get Complexity uncomfortable, or whether this is going to be the bread and butter of their T side. Because at the top level, you can go for those plays occasionally. hallzerk having a bit of fun. But if you run that same play every round, normally the CTs will know how to dodge those nades, will know how to play anti-flash and just shut you down. So I do like Permitta taking this timeout fairly early on. And they've still got themselves guns to work with in this one.
I do like the early timeout from Permitta because, again, it just shows that they're not getting too carried away with a round win here and there against a big name in Complexity, but they will stay focused on the task at hand. 4-2 for Complexity on their CT side. They wouldn't want to drop too many rounds on this half. The AKs will be coming out again. You can see a Galil in the hands of SNX, so he can pull out some utility for the squad. Casey's going to go for a run as well, but he has been spotted by hallzerk. Grim trying to make his way in towards the A-bomb site. Supposed to go outside, might have been a distraction, but can they put the work in on A? Lena with the 1 kill so far. There's another one for SNX now, as things become difficult for both squads on the A-bomb site. hallzerk and co up top, spreading over now. And again, Lena's in a clutch. This time a 1 versus 2. I think he heard Floppy fall. As you can see, his crosshair changes. 14 HP. He can't take a bullet. He needs to try and catch Floppy in a 1v1 here. The more he moves out, the more he'll be exposed to hallzerk, who will finish him off and find a 5th round for Complexity.
Yeah, Floppy realizes he just needs to play for info, if anything. He doesn't need to fight, because once his teammate sees his opponent, then he knows that man will be out in the open. That's exactly where Lena was. For Permitta, again, it's still quick plays, and we're seeing that these plays are very reliant on just a couple of flashbangs being effective. And right now, Complexity are doing a solid enough job at just dodging those flashes. And as soon as that happens, you've got a high-risk play that when the flash doesn't work, you're in trouble. So unfortunately for Permitta, these pacey rounds not paying off for them so far. In this round with just the pistols, though, they might not have much other choice. You can't really slowly default and pick at your opponents. You need some pace to pack a punch with these Tech 9s. The utility may be at the ready for one of these A plays again.
Another executes into the A site. A big focus for Permitta, but JT has the angles. Tech 9s will be dealt with. Lena and SNX remain. They still have the bomb in their control. They don't have any kills. There goes the bomb as well.
You only had like 3 bullets or something.
Plenty in this situation.
Apparently.
Especially with the confidence. Lena now, he's got 4 more to find. Trying to keep that CT economy honest could be all he could hope for there, but it will be just the 1 kill. So we've seen a big focus from Permitta into A immediately, sometimes trying to glide their way in with a player on the outside, but it has been a lot of A, a lot of executes. I do wonder if they'll start to mix things up soon.
Yeah, you would hope when you pick Nuke as a map, you have those outside smokes to fall back on, take some map control, and then maybe see if you can catch CTs elsewhere, cause some rotations, cause a response once you get down secret. It's a lot of teams' standard T rounds revolve around that, because once you get down secret, the CTs have to have some sort of response. Looks like a nade stack into Silo. Oh, and that's going to pay off for them. Grim couldn't get away in time. So that's one way to open up the round.
Beautiful attention to detail. Look at the angles being held by Olimp as well. JT's in such a strong position though, and we've seen earlier on when we saw an early Molotov be thrown onto the hut roof from Permitta. Didn't quite cover everything. CTs were still able to hold, but hallzerk's caught in the open now. 5 versus 3 with over a minute on the clock. Permitta are taking their time. They will hear 1 in main as well with that position. You can see SNX dropping off. Hasn't heard the rotation down event, I don't think, though. But they can find the information and maybe rotate back towards A.
Floppy still on that A site, just got 2, and they don't realize FaNg's down on lower. He just flushes them out entirely. They were not expecting 2 CTs to have already rotated down, and that ends up being so costly for them. Just that one slight oversight ends up being a massive difference maker in the round.
That's really interesting because they heard the reloads in main earlier on, and perhaps they thought the guy that was main was the guy who went to default later. But it's an awkward position to be pulling your knife out, giving 3 kills away. 7-2 now in favor of Complexity, perhaps stabilizing. May find themselves on a tear of rounds now. Tech 9s are out once again, but this time it'll be fast in towards Secret rather than fast in towards A. I think Complexity were getting more and more used to those ones. Very unlikely round for Complexity to come back in there after those opening frags from Permitta. But there is still time to claw something back in this half.
Yeah, and Complexity themselves deserves some credit for almost taking that risk of rotating 2 players down to B. I think they realized they needed to make a gamble happen. There's FaNg just playing for information. Here's the steps running at him. He'll call for help, but he only gets 1 kill. Floppy, the man in position to try and trade. It looks like he should be able to hold on, but may have to concede a bomb plant.
Just about. You can see 1 at Decon. Does he play off of his teammates here, Grim? He simply opened the door. Great flash from his squad, and that's a very nice cleanup from Complexity. Won't be terribly concerned with the bomb plant. Priority is winning the round. Max loss bonus for Permitta. Plant the bomb, get some AKs. Pretty much how it's going to work now. Can they get 5 rounds on the board? That would be something. See what their next round looks like. AWP will be coming out for Lena.
I don't think we've seen that so far. It's been so many fast plays that they haven't really needed the AWP in their hands. That might be a nice chance to play a slightly different round. Perhaps a different card played that Complexity won't be expecting.
Man like Floppy. Flopzilla. hallzerk on the outside with the AWP. It's been all over the place as hallzerk in this game so far. Does he aim for the jump peak on the big box? Grenades being lined up. Looks like it might be the closer wall. Indeed it will be. Now, what will they do with this? He needs to hug the wall to avoid being spotted from up top, which is possibly where hallzerk is going. No pot shots taken through the smoke. An exchange of incendiaries to try and delay any play towards Secret, but there are no sound cues for JT. Oh, the barrel of gun's been seen though. Hello and goodbye. And that is the issue with the silence over the M4A4. It can concede your position.
And now you can start to wrap through this yard position, make FaNg uncomfortable. He can't focus as much on the A site. He has to be concerned about Heaven. But he's locked in on this angle, so ISO himself needs to be ready. And he's not. FaNg clears out the flank. Now he drops down to the site to help. The bomb's gone tumbling down. Trade finally comes in for Permitta. Good shot from Lena. It's back to a 2v2 and a chance to get that bomb down.
They need to do it fast. 25 seconds on the clock. hallzerk still lurking up top. That lurk smoke as well can prove very dangerous indeed. Both in the Heaven position. Now, do they play a bait setup? Who goes first? I think only one has been seen so far. I think they realize Floppy's here as well, trying to swing through. Now he's found Casey, but Lena will take him down for a much-needed third round for Permitta.
Oh, I thought he was going to get the transfer for a second. Lena was so low, but the AWP play ends up being impactful from Lena. Had a really solid amount of impact in that round, even though it was a bit of an awkward position for the AWP. It wasn't easy for him as you go into that A site. You're not getting the chance to just go for the pick at yard and go for the long-range fights. You've really got no room for error with the AWP there when you're in and around the A-bomb site like that. So he did a solid job, and I think, unfortunately for Complexity, the way they went for that retake just never seemed to be coordinated between the two players. As the one man dropped down, his teammate at Heaven wasn't fully ready to help straight away. But a nice round from Permitta. We'll see if that AWP of Lena can continue to find impact. This is now Complexity with no money in the bank. So this is a real chance for Permitta.
Yeah, potential swing round for them. See if they can capitalize on that, if they can deliver the goods. Looks like another fast one in towards the A-bomb site. JT dropping to the floor this time and still delivering. Grim's here as well, and they will drop like flies, Permitta. Casey and Lena remain. This has been so fast and no success whatsoever. There's the opening kill for Casey, but look at the angles of these CTs. He can't possibly make his way through there, and he won't be allowed to escape either. Lena in a 1 versus 4 now. Often the last man standing. The scope will surely be heard. Must be frustrating. Flanks coming through as well. This would be great for Complexity to survive with 4 players. Very awkward with the USP though. hallzerk trying to run away. Oh dear, he gets there eventually. Extremely awkward, but Complexity win as they needed to in that round. 4 players surviving, great for their money, laughing off the awkwardness of that final frag.
All smiles for Complexity. Coach TC always looks happy. See a big smile on his face a lot of the time. Yeah, I think you're seeing why again for Permitta. It's just simple utility in a lot of these rounds. And I wouldn't be surprised if this can be fairly effective at the lower level. But against a team like Complexity, they've seen these tricks too many times before. They're going to know how to deal with some of these fast plays with just a few flashes.
What is that doing up there?
Oh, the smoke wall didn't look ideal.
Not at all. Giant gap. The buy's not ideal either. The hero AK for Lena. And a bunch of pistols.
And I think they were hoping the yard smokes would make Complexity be a bit concerned about information, rotate a player down lower, but if they go into ramp here like they want to, it is a little sketchy. Complexity have a couple of CTs near this position.
That smoke looks like it might have been for old Nuke rather than this version of it. Well, the numbers game being abused towards the ramp now. They need to capitalize on this, and that's quite one way to do it. So they have activated Lena very well in this round, but there's more work to do. JT showing presence, which may delay the bomb plant here. Gonna catch Casey on the rotation as well, but Casey's still alive. JT is surrounded. Which door does he open next? Oh, this is so smart from Casey. Just about gets there as well. Last seen moving to the right, goes back to the left, catches JT from the back. hallzerk now in a 1 versus 3. 2 more rifles to find, both with full armor. This will not be easy, but Casey goes down for free. A single peek. Now, where is Lena? Is it a bait setup or is he coming from somewhere else? He's going for the straight diffuser, it looks like, but Lena doesn't realize it, and that's another round in the bin, down the drain. Adios, amigo.
I think hallzerk might have taken his hand off his mouse before winning the round. He was just like, yep, I've got it. Give the fist bump straight away to the coach. What a shame for Permitta, because the way they cracked into ramp here was fantastic. This shot from Lena was excellent. Then that player swinging onto the bomb, I think he heard the smoke drop by hallzerk, but hallzerk threw the smoke just slightly higher than you might expect. So I think he was hoping that the smoke had just been thrown and hallzerk wouldn't be ready with his gun out. But hallzerk had his gun back out way too quickly.
2 rounds remaining in the half for Permitta to try and find something. They still have a reasonable buy. But they can't give away too many more rounds here. There we go. Down goes Lena. 2 smokes remaining for Permitta. Heading towards the 1 minute mark. It looks like they may make an investigation towards the ramp. Very nice angle for Floppy. Super awkward for the T's as well. If they peek the CT side and don't see anybody, they may think they're walking into a bait setup. Floppy avoiding the flashes. Can he get 2? He can't. Looking for the trade fragger. There isn't one. Off to B they go. There is a flank, 2-man flank actually coming through quickly. So CTs don't quite have the position, and that smoke's not going to help the T's either. So there could be some chaos coming in this one. He's completely missed the corner. Free kill will be traded though, and ISO will do one better. There is...
Wow.
Oh, okay. All right then. Well, that's one way to clean up the mess. hallzerk in a 1 versus 2. That's the wrong play for the P250. That will require a lot of work to take Casey down, but as he gets closer, if he can find a headshot, then perhaps... Getting real awkward now. Again, Casey's in a 1v1. Down goes ISO, trying to help his teammate. Now Casey's going to take one in the face as well. And that will be number 11 for Complexity.
God, you see just how good that P250 can be, especially in the hands of hallzerk. Headshot onto the second player. Was able to take down that first man who was low. It's another round where Permitta landed some brilliant shots to get them into an advantageous position, but they just haven't been able to hold on in the last couple of rounds. There's ISO's smoke, which was unfortunate, but ISO's 3K towards Decon was unreal. Some of those shots he was landing, I'm not sure how he got away with them. It wasn't enough to win the round. It's 11-3 Complexity. Very good half for them already. And into the last round of the half, they've got the chance to do one better.
JT deleted now, finally getting aggressive in the last round of the first half. So instrumental in defending the A-bomb site, mostly from the hut, sometimes from the site. JT and Grim put in great work. Oh,
that's nice.
Very nice indeed. But maybe purely for aesthetics in a round, which they really need, but haven't got just yet. They do have some advantages though. They're in a 4 versus 3. You can see FaNg's position. I'm sure you heard the scope from there. So they have some information. But what did the rest of the team do? It looks like they might be doing a 2-man hut push, if I'm seeing that correctly on the X-ray. Smoke's being lined up on the outside. Yeah, and the CTs have gone past the lobby. It's ISO holding the angle, actually. Oh, this is very, very weird indeed. He's taken Floppy down at the very least. We'll see if Grim is able to escape. He is, and this is getting very, very awkward indeed. He's spotted Lena, taking him down to 33 HP. They have no idea where FaNg is, and he's got a fair amount of information now.
37 seconds for Permitta. I think they will decide to come back to this A site, but with all that info, FaNg has positioned himself perfectly. They're not going to clear him. They're not even going to look. FaNg lines them up and closes out the half. Permitta just could not close some of those final rounds. There's still chances for them, but it's not looking great for them right now on their map pick. We'll see if they can improve heading into the second half after this.
Baptism by fire for Permitta. They move to the CT side, having gleaned only 3 rounds in the first half. They are at the base of the mountain still. Much work to be done. Complexity on the cusp of victory in the first map of the series, Hawker.
Yeah, and Permitta showed promise in so many of those rounds. They got into good positions. They just couldn't close them. And you have to remember, this is the first or second LAN a lot of these players have played that's been listed on HLTV. So that could be part of the reason. A lot of adjustment for the Permitta players to go through. Let's hope they can put up a fight in this second half, though. It's not looking great initially. FaNg has just caught some aggression. Now he's got a USP in his hand, so he's happy to duel, but decides to drop back and join his team at lobby. Having
had to face Furia, doesn't get much easier for them. from what we've seen so far. Complexity charging in to the A bomb site. Bombs on the floor though, and so are the rest of their opponent, which means they've won the round. Very quickly indeed, Complexity take the T pistol, which means they've taken both pistols. Never bodes well if you're the guy on the losing end of that.
Yeah, and another thing that's been a little unfortunate for Permitta is I think a couple of their players, Lena and Casey, have shown some actual fantastic aim and some really good individual ability. But oftentimes when you have these teams stepping up a level, there might be a couple of players that struggle to deal with that. And even though Lena and Casey have been playing pretty well, they haven't had much support so far in terms of fragging from the rest of their team. Full eco for Permitta in this one. Not much of a chance. They're hoping they can at least play for one gun round. Okay, that's actually pretty solid. I'll take that. Couple of kills.
FaNg was trying to get there fast enough to protect the weapon, but he can hold the angle at least, and I think they're going to charge after ISO. Try and take him down, indeed. He will go down very quickly indeed. His name reminds me of the Wares or Warez, depending on where you're from, era of the ISOs on the internet. Never downloaded one, of course. 14-3 for Complexity. This one may be ending quickly, Hawker.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I'm glad that Permitta at least saved that last round so they get a chance at a gun round on the CT side of their map pick. Let's see if they can get anything going from it. Looks like we might have some ramp aggression from Permitta. A couple of players grouped up there, but Complexity don't have anyone in that position. They're going for a big yard play. Looks like they've got down Secret safely.
Not sure if they were spotted on the way. They may have been heard. We'll see what their response is. They are going very quickly indeed. Complexity, Lena, and Olimp going to combine for 3 of the 4 kills. Casey will deliver as well. So Floppy's in a 1 versus 4 now. Plenty of time, but he can't quite get that second spray on the ramp. So we have a 4th round for Permitta. They're 10 rounds behind. They can see their opponent for a time. Much work to be done. A long road to recovery, but perhaps they can do it on the CT side.
Yeah, Complexity there clearly realize there's no AWP available for the CT side, so that's why they're much more comfortable just running through yard like that. But Permitta actually did a good enough job at getting that lobby info. They had some lobby aggression, which allowed the rotate back just in time from those 2 ramp players that arrived and did a solid job shutting it down between them. So some nice info plays from Permitta there. Now this one should be incredibly easy for them. Ooh. Okay. Casey getting caught.
Yeah, got to be careful now. They'll be fishing with that Desert Eagle. Oh, that'll certainly help. ISO cutting the numbers down. Right then, some momentum being built, but the rifles will soon be back. The real game will begin again. 9 rounds to acquire for Permitta to catch up. Complexity. For some reason, I feel like this is going to be a fast round. Do you think they're going to go straight into A?
I could see it. I also wouldn't be surprised if Complexity feel like they can just get the rotations to be awkward from Permitta, because those protocols sometimes can be a little shaky from some of these lower ranked teams. But I wouldn't blame them for going for a fast play, because their individuals have clearly been solid.
Yeah, so they'll give them that respect at least. Won't try to run them over. Permitta went for a lot of fast rounds into the A bomb site, but Nuke can be hard work, and it certainly has been for the CT side now.
Oh, this is nice. You got to hear JT making a bit of noise.
He's got to be careful with his barrel, though. That is quite the flashbang, but he's got the information, so his team can stay focused on A and ramp. Big huddle of T players, and they'll get the best of that one. Floppy falling back. How far does SNX go for this one? Catches Floppy with a nade in his hand. Lovely work. Oh, okay. Well, we've got some big frags on the site now, and JT will be in a 1 versus 2. That's all his teammates have been lost on the A site. First 1v1 won't be won. Casey will out-duel him. maybe Permitta might be more comfortable on their CT side. They had the executes again on the A side, so obviously they had their setups. Didn't quite work out for them. But maybe the CT side is where they'll do their best work.
Yeah, actually a solid recovery from Permitta here. I think SNX pushing into Hut was the big play in that round. And I almost feel like Complexity weren't expecting that push to come through because they play against higher ranked teams sometimes who don't always take those sorts of risks. But instead, Permitta go for the aggression, and it made it really awkward for Complexity to wrap through Squeaky. This MP9 has got some backup behind in ramp, but he's going to get flashed in instead. Oh, they all lined up. It's big damage, and he gets the reload off. So this could be a field day for Olimp. Easy ace with the MP9. That's something for him to get excited about, at least.
Pad the stats, boy. You used so many bullets on that first player. They do fire real fast in that MP9, but he had the support to get all the frags there. So it's another one in the bag. On to the next one. Let's keep it moving. This catch-up's going pretty quick now. It might catch up to Complexity faster than they realize. But again, the big buys are coming soon, and that's what we'll focus on. Nice work with the support flashes, though. Double AWPs out for Permitta. Interesting approach there, and we've got a fast round from Complexity after all. In they go, and that makes the double orbs awkward all of a sudden. Is anyone even here to challenge? We've still got 10 players up, but no one's in the bomb site for the Permitta.
Oh boy, this is real sketchy now because Complexity still have a couple of nades of their own, and they've got a lot of awkward angles that the CTs have to clear.
Double AWP retake of the A bomb site, 5 versus 5. Will he be ready for the higher player? No, JT will take him down and hold on to lobby. The flashes are coming in through heaven, and here comes ISO. 2 players in the hut, it looks like, or 1 player by Squeaky, 1 in the hut in FaNg. FaNg's the last man standing now. He could still win this one. He's got to swing on the AWP, though, and try and get the shot on the diffuser, but he hasn't got the angle. And there is a diffuse. So expensive. Casey will survive. Very awkward indeed. Double AWP to start with. No one in the A bomb site for the plant. You don't often see that.
Yeah, I feel like FaNg at the end there probably got the call that the bomb was planted sort of towards heaven. So that's why he swings that left side, thinking that the diffuser might be visible. But they were just about able to get far enough back to be behind that silo and to be safe. Definitely a little strange that Permitta didn't have anyone anywhere near that A site other than the player in main who was cut off by the utility. But fair play to them for landing some of those early shots to get them in on the retake. Not easy to do. And they are giving Complexity at least a little something to think about.
There we can see the 2 snipers will continue for the CT squad. See if Complexity figured that out and if they'll have a plan for it. Breaking the glass for the A-bomb sites. Could see fakes, double pumps. Could see nothing at all.
Smokes being lined up for Complexity. Definitely a necessity, as they know they're against those 2 CT AWPs. Now that sniper won't have the same vision and information it previously had. They meant to have a player down secret on B though, so they realize it's not been that follow down into B. But Complexity now move into ramp and they find that all-important entry.
I did wonder if it would be a ramp at the beginning of the round. They did try to send everybody to defend A in the meantime, as we can see. KC's got control of control, but for how long? JT comes through and says no. Complexity on the cusp of game points in post-plant positions. And it seems that Permitta have no choice but to disengage. Money is low, and they'll be up against game points after this, so they need as much as they can take into it. It was a good execute with utility into the A bomb site. So then isolate a player alone on the ramp, and off to the races they went.
It's just so tough when your ramp player gets taken down so quickly and without getting a single kill. Must have been a fantastic shot. I think it was Grim for Complexity who got that opener because it was against an AWP holding ramp. Well, that was a very quick headshot delivered. And even though Permitta had a couple of players rotating down to B, you could just see they were always scrambling to get into position. Didn't look comfortable for them as soon as they lost this fight. That was the pre-aim and almost pre-fire from Grim round the corner. And it's always nice when you only need to get 2 kills to win you a round. That's when you know you've done something right on the complexity side. And a chance now to secure the map entirely and to steal away Permitta's map pick.
Big aggression outside from Permitta. Will they dare flank though? Angles could be held from further away, but it seems it will be an execute into the A-bomb site, or at least an attempt, but perhaps that spray from ISO will delay them at least for a time, making their way towards the vent, but FaNg I think was lost in the smoke there. Stuck on the side of the vent, and now there are 3. JT, Grim, and hallzerk remain versus 4 of Permitta. 2 of them are downstairs though, and the bomb will be planted. So, they can't save this time. Of course, they have the advantages, but they must deliver on them. Down goes Casey. JT protecting the vent. 3 players coming on the ramp, but complexity don't know that just yet. Grim hiding at the back of the site. That smoke will soon be gone. There is an incendiary for SNX. Where will he throw it though? Not in Grim's position. He'll hold on for as long as he can, which won't be very long at all. There is a kit on 2 of the 3 players. You've got to make sure the right man's on that bomb, but that's not going to help at all, is it? The Molotov is here to make life even worse. Down ISO goes, and Complexity take Nuke.
Pretty solid showing here from Complexity, doing exactly what they needed to do. But for Permitta, they got themselves in so many good opportunities in that first half. They just couldn't close them. I feel like the jitters, the nerves may have kicked in. And for Complexity, no nerves right now. They are loving life.
It is break time. When we're back, the thoughts of the desk on that first map. See you soon.